and welcome to the Veggie Kitchen. I'm your host Ed, and today it's all about grains. Stay tuned, veggiekitchen.org. Welcome back, veggiekitchen.org. Today we're talking about grains. The grain most of us are most familiar with would be wheat, I would think. Wheat is in breads and in pastas. And after the wheat, I think it would be the rices. I have here some long grain brown rice, short grain brown rice, and some organic white rice. But besides the rices and the wheats, there's other grains out there that you should try. Grains are a fundamental in a healthy diet, vegetarian or otherwise. And you should introduce yourself to these different grains. Each of these grains has a different nutritional value they add to your body, and your body will like them. So here, this is a pearl barley or a hulled barley. This is quinoa. This is buckwheat. This is toasted, unhulled buckwheat. And this is millet. Okay? So the barley is a great grain to try. If you haven't tried it before, I would suggest trying it, maybe just sneaking up on it a little bit. I like to cook it mixed with the short grain brown rice. So if I was going to make a cup, I would have 3/4 of a cup of the short grain brown rice to a 1/4 cup of the barley. They're essentially the same size grains and the cooking time is the same, so they pair really well together. Millet is a very interesting grain. The millet, along with the quinoa and the buckwheat, are all gluten-free, and they're all low-acid foods, which makes them very easy to digest. And they're all economical too. Okay, so these are a variety of grains, and on the stove I have a couple of things cooking up right now. What I've done is I took the millet and the quinoa, and I have 3/4 of a cup of millet to a 1/4 cup of quinoa, and that's on the stove. I cooked it just 1 cup to approximately 2 cups of water, and it took about 20 minutes for it to cook. Besides that, I tried the organic white rice, and I had 1 cup of rice, and I used a 1/4 cup of quinoa in with the rice, and a 1/4 cup of the buckwheat. All 3 of these grains all cook at the same time, so they pair really well together. Okay, so let's see what we have. Give me a second to get them out. As I said, there was 20 minutes on the stove each one. This is the millet. The millet and the quinoa. So I made a cup. As you can see, it makes quite a lot. So you could eat some today and hold some out for tomorrow. What I also did, so I added a little bit of margarine to it right at the end when it was cooking, so it would help it stay loose and break apart, not get too gluggy. Sometimes grains get gluggy. See, look at that. That's the millet, and I'll get the rice. See. This is the white rice with the barley and the quinoa. Quinoa is great. It actually adds a little bit of air to the grains. It keeps it more fluffy. And buckwheat, if you've never eaten, it's a very unique grain. It's actually a seed. It has a really interesting fragrance. I can't describe it to you. But it's soft. Has a little bit of maybe nutty flavor, but actually more than that, almost a floral taste to it. Very good source of protein. So there we go. I've cooked up the rice with the buckwheat and the quinoa, and here is the millet and the quinoa. The millet and the quinoa is an excellent choice together. These are both great side dishes. Actually, all these grains are great side dishes, and they can even be eaten as cereals. So in your diet, go out and be a little adventurous. Try some of these different products. They're good for you, and it's good to expand your horizons. Have a good fundamental base in your diet, okay? So go out and try some of these. Thank you so much for watching, veggiekitchen.org.